Hey people, it is Tuesday, November the 23rd, and the time is 11:50 in the morning, and the temperature is 2 degrees Celsius, and I'm standing here at the corner of King Street East and Victoria Street in front of the famous historic King Edward Hotel. And I thought for today's video I'd do a little fun thing. Since the new Beatles documentary Get Back is going to be released on Disney Plus on Thursday, this coming Thursday, I thought I'd do a little walk and talk about some of the places the Beatles stayed when they were in Toronto over the years. So when they first came to Toronto in 1964, this is the hotel they stayed at, the King Edward. So that first tour, they arrived here on September the 7th, 1964, and they stayed in the Royal Suite, which is on the 8th floor, right up there on the corner of the building. And they stayed there for about 36 hours. And I believe Toronto was the only city where they actually stayed overnight in the hotel. All other cities they played on their Canadian leg of the tour, they didn't stay overnight in any of those other cities. So they spent a little bit of time here in the Royal Suite at the King Edward Hotel. And then 5 years later, on May 25th, 1969, John Lennon and Yoko Ono were in town promoting peace, and they did one of their famous bed-ins also here at the King Edward Hotel in the same suite, the Royal Suite again. So he went back to the same room that they stayed in 1964. And they just stayed one night before moving on to Montreal, where they did their more famous week-long bed-in there at the Queen Elizabeth Hotel, I believe, in Montreal. So I thought that was pretty cool that the Beatles stayed here, both in 1964, and at least John and Yoko again in 1969 in the same room. And I believe now that suite is no longer the Royal Suite. It got moved. And now it's 869, I believe, is the number of the room that the Beatles stayed in. So if you're ever in Toronto and staying at the King Edward, see if you can get a room in number 869. I know I will. I mean, I have no reason to stay in a hotel since I live here, but maybe just for fun sometime I could do something like that. There's another look at the room. I think it's the very top corner there. So of course after they left the hotel, they would go to Maple Leaf Gardens to play their concerts. So I'm going to make my way there now. And of course Maple Leaf Gardens is now a large Loblaws grocery store, which I've shown in many of my videos. So we're currently walking north along Victoria Street. St Adelaide Street, and it is a chilly day today. Maple Leaf Gardens is at the corner of Church and Carlton, so that's a bit to the east, and to the north, but I think I will just head west over to Yonge Street and walk along there for a little ways, and then I'll make my way back over to Church. Here's Richmond Street. We'll head over to Yonge. Alright, now north on Yonge. Just coming up on the lunch hour. Oh, what is this? Is that blood? Looks like someone had an unfortunate incident. So here's Queen Street. I can see these bloody footprints. It looks like they extend all the way up the street. Oh, we're still going. Holy cow, what the WTF?
Voy a la oficina.
If this is blood, then someone must have been pretty seriously injured. Shuter Street. And the blood is still going. Maybe this has something to do with it. Looked like a hole left by a fist in that window. And in Toronto, no sidewalk goes unobstructed. Thanks. Let's see, the track's still here. Yeah, they're still going. And here's Dundas Square. Well, looks like they're going onto the street now. Looks like they're going across the street. Alright. I'm curious to see where these come to an end. A lot of traffic. To say this Beatles walk has taken a bit of a dark turn here. And the tracks just keep on going. Well, I'm not going to head west because that will take me away from my destination. But it looks like the tracks just keep on going along Dundas Street. So who knows how far they go. Well, that was a pretty bizarre thing. Oh, whoever it was, I hope they're okay. So now we will continue on our regular mission to Maple Leaf Gardens.
not to say that we are pathetic, but we definitely
It's
come
just a
in.
different personality.
Yeah, we come in and tell me what's wrong, and find out what's wrong. Where else?
That sounds fun.
غذایی
I wonder what route the Beatles took when they went from the hotel to the arena. What are you honking at? I got the right of way. Wonder if they went over to church and straight up church. Probably that's the most likely route they took.
It's really not registering.
That place always has music playing. Yonge and Gerrard. So I have to say I'm like super excited to watch this new documentary of the Beatles. It's going to be in 3 parts, each 2 hours long, so 6 hours of content. Looks like that guy took a spill there. Oh, is he all right? Not sure how that happened. Seems to be okay. He wasn't even on his bike, I don't think. I think he was walking it and somehow he tripped over it or something. There's College Park. So as I was saying, this is like Christmas for me. I've been excited to see this ever since I first heard about it, probably like going back about 2 years or so. Peter Jackson, the director of the Lord of the Rings movies, is the guy behind it. And they took all the footage that was used to make the documentary Let It Be, which was released in 1970. There's 60 hours of footage just sitting in a vault or something. Most of it unused. The documentary Let It Be that came out in 1970 was only like less than 90 minutes long or so. So they had all this unused footage and they cleaned it all up. They brought it all up to current standards for video and audio quality. So it'll be almost like it was just shot yesterday. I think that's how good it's going to look and sound. Alright, here's Carlton Street. Maple Leaf Gardens is just a block or so to the east. And there's the arena, or former arena. There's still an arena in the building for Ryerson University. It's just not on the main level where the original NHL arena was. So the Beatles played their concert here in 1964, and also 1965 and 1966 they came to Toronto for those 3 years in a row that they were touring. And I think they stayed at the King Edward Hotel every time, although they only stayed overnight in 1964, I believe. And apparently there were thousands of fans camped out in front of the arena and in front of the hotel while they were staying there, and also greeting them at the airport when they arrived. Something like 10,000 fans showed up at the airport. That was all in 1964 when they were at the height of their Beatlemania fame. I think things quieted down a bit in 1965 and 1966. And surprisingly enough, in 1966, their show here didn't even sell out. I was very surprised to find that out. I think people were starting to think that the Beatles were a bit old hat by 1966, and lots of their original fans from 1963 and 4 who were very young, like pre-teens or early teens, were a bit older. Maybe they thought they were too cool for the Beatles by 1966, but little did they know that the Beatles were going to become the coolest band in the world, not just the most popular, because that's the year they came out with the Revolver album that completely transformed their sound. And maybe a lot of their original fans from their early days kind of liked their more love song, pop-oriented music, and weren't so keen on the more experimental rock sounds on Revolver and some of their later albums. And maybe that's why by 1966, after Revolver had come out, they weren't as eager to come and watch their live show. This is just all me speculating here, taking wild guesses. They were still the biggest band in the world in 1966, though. So let's go in. We're at Maple Leaf Gardens now. I know they had some pictures of various famous people and acts and athletes who performed here inside the arena when it was still an arena. I'm just not sure if they have them here. No, these ones are hockey oriented. These are hockey and wrestling. I'm just looking at the pictures on these tables. Looks like they don't have any pictures of the Beatles right now. They have before, though. They had a couple pictures taken from the time of their concert. I'm not sure why they took those away. But we'll find center ice, because I'm pretty sure that's where the stage was set up. There's a red dot here on the floor that indicates where center ice was. So we'll see the very spot where the Fabs played their show, if I can find it. And if I don't have these Christmas songs getting in the way. This is it. This is center ice. So imagine the stage was set up right here. And of course there are stands with tens of thousands of screaming fans. And of course they couldn't even hear themselves play. And they kind of grew to hate touring, actually, because of that. It was just like a circus sideshow where they basically didn't even have to sing their lyrics properly because no one could hear them anyway. John Lennon would actually make up fake lyrics just to amuse himself or say rude things. And no one could make anything out. So what did it matter? So I'm going to head back outside. Try to get away from this potentially copyrightable music here. So that was it. I hope you enjoyed my little tour of Toronto's Beatle past, starting from their hotel that they stayed at, the famous and historic King Edward Hotel, and then up here to Maple Leaf Gardens, where they played shows in 1964, 65, and 66. So if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and like and share and subscribe if you haven't already. And be sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal and also via my merch store. And you can also find me on Instagram under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back because I will continue. And keep an eye out for the new Beatles documentary called Get Back, starting this Thursday on Disney Plus.